Greetings, everybody. My name is Krish Dhanam, and I'm an author, a speaker, and a writer. During the course of my 30 years as a public communicator, both in the training space and in the public speaking space, I have relied on resources that have both inspired me and given me the necessary knowledge to combat that which I was working with. But more importantly, it also taught me how to glean wisdom that would allow me to be able to articulate myself, my position, my thought, my philosophy in arenas that I was not necessarily competent in. My good friend, Dr. Prateep Philip, who I've known for a number of years, I've had the privilege of writing a foreword for one of his earlier books and endorsing his other works, is one such rare gem. And the reason I'm bringing this in a video format amidst a great turmoil in the world is part of a message I was supposed to give if we were together at the launch of his latest book, 3333 Fillipisms. Now, I don't know if that's how it's being pronounced, but 3,333 phrases, proverbs, ideas, advice, management, sales, service advice. It covers the gamut. Just the volume. I know I have quoted a bunch of stuff, but to come up with 3,333, I know in itself was a record, and that's been touted that one man over a course of his life would amass that amount of wisdom. But the beauty is not in just the collection or the completion of the collection. The beauty is in its visible demonstration of great wisdom in every one of those quotes, every one of those sayings, rich with meaning, dripping with purpose, and giving you a desire to now unpack it in a way that would allow you to internalize, personalize, and vocalize for yourself. Dr. Philip's own journey is not anything I need to tell you about. You just go online and look it up. As heroics go, he is probably lauded as a police officer who has accomplished great amount of success in all the endeavors he's taken. But this side of him, which is a lesser known side of him, even though he's a much in-demand public speaker, is the side of him that drew me to him. That someone with that kind of visibility and that kind of prowess would have the care and concern to begin to document that which he thought were pearls of wisdom, real management gems, that individually, if used, would catapult people to new heights and new prominence. But collectively, if internalized, would not only change a life, it would alter a behavior, and it would give some kind of credence to a new way of thought process. Some of the words he has coined about economics and the new way in which he calls it exonomics, and some of the pronunciations are hard to come by because that's it. They take word structures that already existed, merge them together to give them new nomenclature and derive not only new meaning for it, but give you what is called a present continuous reality to that verbiage. Now, that just may sound like a bunch of words, and those of you listening have heard me or have heard me before know that I love the language itself. But man, do I marvel at this man's ability to turn a phrase. That's what they said about some of the more prolific writers of our time. They said when you looked at the writing of Malcolm Muggeridge, or you looked at the writing of G.K. Chesterton, or you looked at the writing of F.W. Borum within the global scale, you will find people who actually were able to put thought on paper that danced off as some kind of a symbolic way that stood the test of time. And with these 3,333 Fillipisms that this new book or this new work or this new tome is about his own life, I think for the ages we have now got collected, captured wisdom. You know, there's an old story that is told about a king. And this king was asked his subjects, go out and find me the truth of the world. And the truth of the world, the subjects went far and wide, or those that were entrusted with that went far and wide, and they came back with a book. He says, too big. They went back and came back with a chapter. He said, still too big. They came back with a sentence. And the sentence simply said, there ain't no free lunch. And the parable basically illustrates that the truth of the world is nothing is free, but it required one sentence to tell the truth of the world. In such short, pithy sentences, Dr. Philip has revealed some of the great truths of the world. I wholeheartedly endorse the work, not only because I'm a fan of his work or because I've been participating in some of similar work, but the one thing maybe there is in me is a desire that I wish I had, that someday I would be able to understand the depth of his intelligence that we are so fortunate to have during this time. I would encourage you to pick up this book. I would encourage you to make it one of your arsenal, in the sense that if you're a communicator of any stance in this world, this is something you want in your private collection. I would put it up there with the likes of Adrian Rogers and his Adrianisms, or the Zig Ziglar of this world, who were great communication giants. But Dr. Philip has managed to put it into his own unique way called Fillipisms. Get this book. It will impact you personally, it will inspire you professionally, and it will do great justice to your journey. Until next time, God bless.